Hello, everyone. Here we are again with another recording for the PPTL or the Philippine Pokemon Team League Season 8. I am Tyrant, and this time I am joined by my two wonderful guests, Chocopao and Mole slash Rain. Hello, guys.
Hi guys. So first things first, I'm Ryan Pareha, aka Chocopaw. So we're presenting a wonderful match tonight. So and my partner, the other one is Rain. Rain.
Hello, everyone. Also here, I'll be joining Ryan and Francis here for casting the match between Everstoned Eevees and Ballonlea Bayonets.
This time it's special because I don't know what happened. I think the other two also don't know what happened, but we were told that something amazing happened during this match, no? And what better way to cast something like that between two good players than to have a three-way casting crew. So para may iba naman, no? Ryan, why don't you take it away with the team sheets?
Okay, so I think this
Right before
team
we do the
ng
team sheets, let's go ahead and introduce the players playing first.
Ay, oo nga, no?
Oh
Why don't
yeah.
we talk about the teams when we can even talk about the players?
Okay, so again, as mentioned earlier, the match for this week is between Everstone Eevees and Ballonlea Bayonets. So first up, let's go through Poncho's player profile. So Poncho is actually one of the veterans in the VGC scene, based in, I believe, either in the East Coast of the USA. Um, Poncho is no stranger to the VGC scene, very exposed, especially to the overseas community of VGC. So as you can see, one of his notable accomplishments are he was a member of the Victory Road World Cup of the Philippines national team from 2022 and this year as well. He also placed top 16 in the most recent Beast Coast Safari Zone VGZ tournament. That was also in one of the first Regulation E tournaments of that format. For Heart Fork Regional earlier this year, it was also top 64. And lastly, he placed top 24 in the Players' Cup, one of the North America. So that was, I believe, Sword and Shield, no? Yung Players' Cup.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
All right.
So,
On
so the
Ballonlea Bayonets
other,
side, we have their team captain, Lychee or Brent Santiago. So his notable VGC accomplishments actually are for top 16 and are in the Philippines' very first Scarlet and Violet tournament, Treasures and Titans. He was the top four players the most in the previous PPTL season. I think he only had one loss, and that was handed to him by Eric, I believe. And lastly, for the Philippine Nationals of 2023 that happened earlier this year, he was able to place top 32. So
and
very
he only
powerful
lost.
players in their own rights. Lots of
Yeah.
achievements under their belt. So I'm very curious on what teams they brought this week. Maybe Ryan, can you take it away for the team sheets?
So eto guys, ang nakita ko sa team nila nung check ko, the team is parang ang setup is kung ano yung mga favorite Pokemons nila, right? So, first things kay Poncho, as you can see, may Dondozo, Tatsugiri. Ito yung teams or let's say archetype na nakapagdala sa kanya ng success sa isang
Mm-hmm.
regionals na nasalihan niya. Then, his team also composed of the classic Size Spam Duo and for the
Mm-hmm.
pass mode, meron siyang Lilligant, Hisuian Lilligant and Torkoal.
Mm-hmm.
So,
The
for
classic 2-2-2 team comp, no?
yes. So, I think in this kind of team, it's kind of tricky kung saan manggagaling yung offense since all these mons are capable of spreading a lot of damage immediately.
Mm-hmm.
So, I'm really curious ano naman yung team ni Brent. or ni Lychee. So, I think kung ah, kung active kayo sa community, mapapansin niyo yung favorite ni Brent. And for those players na kilala si Brent, makikita niyo yung signature Pokemon niya. So, first things I want to highlight is yung favorite niyang Sylveon and of course yung Bibilion. So, I think the best way to describe the team sheet of Brent is none other than Rain itself.
So Brent is actually again my team captain. So one of his favorite mons is Sylveon. So he was ever since Treasures and Titans actually. He's been an expert in Sylveon teams already. No matter what format, he's always found a way to make Sylveon work kahit hindi naman favorable sa para kay Sylveon. He always knows what to build around the mon. Kung anong tamang supporting cast for this. For this week's match, Brent actually built Sylveon around a hard trick room team. So a lot of the mons na dinala ni Brent this week is actually a bit unique, especially with yung Heatran. I think it's very important to highlight yung Heatran. Yung Heatran na to, it's not your standard Heat Wave, Flash Cannon, and Terra Blast. Brent opted for a setup Heatran with Magma Storm, Iron Defense, and Body Press, and lastly, Protect. It's sobrang interesting rin ng Magma Storm. A very low accuracy move, but it's also very helpful para sa kanya if he wants to trap opponents in.
Yes.
Another one to highlight rin, gusto ko rin makuha yung opinions yung dalawa, Ryan and Francis, is Vivillon. This Vivillon, pwede mo siyang makita as a faster Among Us, kumbaga, that can only probably survive 2 hits. Any opinions or any thoughts on the Vivillon that Brent brought this week?
I think for me, si Bibilion, I remember yung Dynamax era wherein Butterfree is so viable.
Oo.
So, I think
Early
the
Sword and
vibes
Shield.
is that kapag in-ignore mo siya, pwede siyang makapaminsala. So, I think yun yung ang Bibilion yun yung added factor ni Bibilion dun sa team. Ikaw,
Yeah,
Francis,
and
ano sa tingin mo?
well, for me, I think most people, the first time that they face a Vivillon, obviously it's the fear of the unknown. And the thing is, it is exactly as Ryan and Rain said, that it is like Among Us. It just plays a different way. We all know Among Us to be the slow mushroom that can Pokemon to sleep. And because it's slow, it usually puts Pokemon to sleep like near the end of the turn, no? Because it moves last in the turn, outside of Trick Room, of course. And the benefit of that is since the opposing Pokemon did not move yet, then the next turn it's guaranteed to sleep. So it's a very good I guess you could say positioning tool outside of Trick Room. But when Trick Room grows up, we all know that the advantage of Among Us changes in that it becomes more of a hyper offensive tool because you stop the enemy dead on its tracks in that very turn, allowing the partner Pokemon to have like free reign. Like usually you want a partner Pokemon to be safe for that one specific turn. That's exactly what Vivillon is. It's basically an Among Us under Trick Room. And that happens here because of its obviously it's good stat in terms of speed, and this makes it possible with Compound Ice pairing up with Sleep Powder, barring any unfortunate misses, no, because it is not a
Yes.
guaranteed hit.
I believe it
And
goes up to 97 with Compound Ice,
97,
yung
yes, yes.
sleep powder.
Yes.
Oh,
And
the
parehas
97.5, I
mapapansin nyo,
believe.
no? I think it's a battle of sleep powder kasi si Poncho has also a sleep powder on his own team as well. So, yeah, I think it's a battle of sleep powder, trick rooms, and combination of favorite Pokemons.
Agree on that.
Yeah, well, here we're getting right into it immediately, no? So
And it's
yeah, now as you just said it, Ryan, it's a battle of two Pokemon that use Sleep Powder in the form of Hisuian Lilligant against the two signature Pokemon. I guess you could say Rain of Ballonlea at this point. So yeah, I think at this personally in this position, I would give it to Brent or si Lychee. Kasi Lilligant and the Dondozo aren't exactly in a good position to counter what's right in front of them, which is a choice spec Sylveon. So what would you guys think? I mean, because I'm no stranger to these different kinds of teams, but I'd love to know the two of you because you both play different styles.
It's also interesting because Poncho could easily protect and play passively first in order to just check on what happens. Yeah. But we can always, as you can see, Poncho already switched out the Dondos already to get that speed boost, the speed control. So Solar Blade.
Going straight for the but no, it's not even
enough. Sleep Powder going into the Torkoal slot.
Yeah, that's a really good play right there. And I think it's just a Hyper Voice at this point, yeah.
Yep.
I believe Hisui and Lilligant is grass fighting, no? So
correct.
That brings it down to the Sash. So at this point, I think if I were Poncho, you'd just trade for the Sylveon already at this point. And the Torkoal definitely, you just want to burn the sleep turn. So at this point, it's just really a trade 1-for-1.
Yeah, taking out the Sylveon is actually super huge then for Poncho. Taking out the Sylveon takes out a huge firepower na sa side ni Brent. Since that Sylveon is going to deal so much damage, especially with choice specs, with Pixelate. And with that threat of Terra Fairy, kahit +2 yung Dondozo mo, I don't think it'll survive very long against Sylveon. Brent taking out the Sylveon already for Dusclops.
Yeah, I just tank the hit. And if I may add or anything.
And it's a Sleep Powder again.
Sleep Powder very
on the Vivillon this time.
Knowing that the Vivillon is not a grass type, no, so it will work on it. But I just wanted to say something about the Dusclops that I want to commend the team building by Lychee is that most people who use Dusclops at times, they still use Frisk, which is kind of a waste in the open team sheet format because you already know the items of the opponent, so you might as well use Pressure to decrease more of the power points of the opponent. So that's one amazing thing I hope that more players take note of.
So Vivillon takes its first turn of sleep. And another Sleep Powder hit. 2 Sleep Powders back to back on on Poncho's side.
Yeah, and I think the Torkoal should be waking up
Wala
soon.
pa nagbibis na Sleep
Yeah,
Powder.
the Torkoal woke up, goes for the Eruption. Full on Eruption. Barely tickling the Dusclops. You don't see that often with the Torkoal Eruption.
No, it's not full health. It's not full
it's not full health. Right.
It's not full health. It's around 2/3 of its health. So yeah, and it's a spread move, mind you. So of course it's gonna be less. So that's very interesting. That's I believe it's a 2-for-2 Sleep Powder right now for Poncho's Lilligant. And at this point, you just want to throw out as much damage as you can already. I think the best thing here is to focus first on the Vivillon because that could prove problematic if it wakes up already. So yeah, and the Torkoal, I mean, it's already
right now. Torkoal can deal some significant chip damage on
yes, definitely.
Oh, but Vivillon rolls up this time. Goes for the Protect.
Okay, I was kind of confused because I know that the Lilligant was fast, but again because of the type it goes before. So interesting play there. I'm wondering if Lychee was hoping for that. Yeah, he was hoping for that so that he can take out the Lilligant. Oh my goodness, that was so
very
lucky.
Fortunate, lucky.
That was
Brent's
so
side.
lucky.
That was a 1-turn sleep. Eruption going in.
That was so lucky. And now this is problematic because the Dondozo, should it come inside, it can only really focus on one because definitely it can't take out the Dusclops with an Earthquake.
Yes,
So,
and the tricky part here is that Dondoso's top moves are ineffective in the current condition.
yeah, definitely. Oo. Kasi nga you can only target one at a time with Wave Crash, which is not gonna do much under the sun. Or you can Earthquake, which is not gonna do much to Dusclops because it's spread, and at the same time, Vivillon is flying. So,
Yeah.
at this point, it's really a bad position for Poncho. Wow! Swerte talaga ng mascot Ballonlea, no? Yeah, wow, I'm just speechless right now because I'm trying to figure out what is the best way for Poncho to get out of this. This is so problematic. I guess you could say he could use Icy Wind and then go for Flamethrower or even an Eruption, but then yeah, the Heat Rend switch in does cover for the possible Eruption. So here, yeah, definitely he wants to Terrifier, dish out as much damage as he can, probably wanting to take out that Dusclops ASAP. Oh, but Icy Wind does miss on the Heat Rend slot. Wow! Oh my god, that does nothing! Imagine if the Heat Rend did not come in and the Lilligan just chose to attack, no? Oh, I mean, sorry, the Vivillon rather. So, yeah, at this point, that's just a flash
Oh, Buddy
fire.
was able to get the KO on the Dusclops next to that Terrifier.
Yes, but the problem now, however, is that that's a boosted Heat Run. And then, I believe that Tatsugiri is Choice Scarf, right? So, right now, the Tatsugiri is somewhat pinned because it's not gonna do a lot of damage.
I was stuck on. I was just
Icy
stuck on
Wind.
using Icy Wind.
Yeah, oh, it's definitely not gonna grab a KO on the Sylveon. And even with the speed drop, the Sylveon, I'm pretty sure, is still gonna be faster than Torkoal.
Yes.
So, and Heatran will have a boosted Magma Storm should it choose to use that right now. So, yeah, definitely a bad position right now for Poncho. Not an unwinnable position. It's still a difficult position, but nonetheless, really, really problematic on his part.
Poncho still has that Dondozo in the back though. He really wants.
Yeah.
He really needs to position yung Dondozo properly in order to win this game.
Yeah, I think he's just gonna wanna out of that severely. Oh, he doesn't.
Brent goes for the Terra here on the Sylveon.
Yeah. The Terra type is a Fairy. Oh, he
Terra
wants to.
Fairy.
He wants to hurt the Torkoal. He wants to turn this into a game of strength in numbers. Oh, but it is interesting. Why did he protect the Heatran?
Interesting protect.
Yeah, that's an interesting protect. Did he overlook that that's a game is Scarf? Perhaps?
Maybe he doesn't
pretty
want that
interesting.
guaranteed speed drop.
Yeah, that's pretty interesting. I definitely am curious about that. Well, he does nonetheless take out the Tatsugiri, and for sure the Torkoal is now prevented from using its eruptions. But I still do question the effect on that heat track. I'm wondering why he did so. He probably overlooked the Choice Scarf.
Probably expecting a Earth Power on the Torkoal.
On the part of the Torkoal, no? But nonetheless, he would definitely move on for it. So he could take it out before it hits him. So pretty interesting. Questionable play right there. So I'm wondering. Yeah, until now I'm still wondering why he chose to do that. No? Because he would have it could have been a 3v1 already at this point, I think. So yeah, all the more the Dondozo could still take the win from Lychee. It's interesting. It's really interesting. But yeah, nonetheless, we still have to carry on with the game. I think game 1 could go either way right now. No, but the sleep powder hits!
Powder!
This game is not good for the heart. Oh my god. And again, as I said earlier, that's the advantage, that's the style of Vivillon. you're able to put something to sleep in the same turn in order to protect your team in the very turn that it happens. Kasi it happens immediately. Sure, there's a possibility that they wake up the next turn, but for that one turn, you're guaranteed, like, safe. So, now at this point, yeah, the Vivillon's just gonna hurt it as much as it can with the Magma Storm. At that time, it's boosted pa. So, and the residual damage, and there it stays asleep. Definitely this is over. So yeah, I mean, very good on the part of Lychee for playing the way that he did. I just still question that
I
one
believe
turn.
he really wanted to conserve the Heatran speed to really guarantee that it will still outspeed the Dondozo.
And possibly para it doesn't get Wind Crash.
Or Earthquake, rather. Or even Earthquake.
And I think on that part, I think Brent is confident that he will KO the Torkoal on that
Then
specific
again,
turn.
though, my problem with those two lines of reasoning is that it would still be the same, if not safer option to not protect with it, because the Vivillon would always be faster naman when it came in against the Dondozo. So pretty interesting play pa rin. Nonetheless, he won, so it worked out in the end. That's I guess you can say, the signature Lychee mentality, no? Basta if it works, then it works. So
And fun fact, uh, the sleep powders on that game was, I think it's 4-4. Sleep powder doesn't miss.
Yes, Sleep Powder did not miss at all in that game.
oh yeah, for
Poncho,
both sides,
very
no?
fortunate, no? Hitting
for
back-to-back Sleep Powders with no modifiers on the accuracy.
well, there is the compound ice, so
Oh no, on Poncho's side.
on
That's
Poncho's
Lilligant's,
side, right,
that's
yes,
raw
yes.
75.
Oh, I mean, there are people who use Fissure, so I'm pretty sure people would be more confident with Sleep Powder in comparison to that. So yeah, here, pretty sure it's a Sleep Powder game again. Yeah, as you see there. I think Poncho at this point will want to put Sylveon down with the Sleep Powder and then protect with the Dondozo. So that next turn, the Lilligant will in turn use Sleep Powder on the Vivillon. Probably trying to turn this into a game of chance where he'd have maybe one extra turn where both of Lychee's Pokemon stay asleep in order to deal out as much damage. So at this point, I think he just switch out to Dondozo. Oh no, he doesn't.
And
Wow.
another sleep powder.
Here, yeah, and it's no misses. I don't know what to say.
Another back-to-back. This
don't know what-
Lilligant is
Oh,
doing
but
work.
Sylveon wakes up!
Sylveon wakes
Sylveon
up!
wakes up!
Goes with Hyper Voice.
Oh my goodness, that's so much damage.
Putting Dondozo to 1/3 HP already without Tatsugiri. And Wave Crash with the recoil
Yeah,
brings it
it's
down
gonna
to
put it down.
25%.
Oh my goodness, this is so risky. I mean, at this point, if I was Poncho, I would be glad that the Sylveon is indeed choice specs. Because if it could switch moves to quick attack, then you'd really be in a bad position already. Oh my goodness.
Just in
Yeah,
turn 2, but Poncho's already in the backseat in this matchup.
Yeah, I think you have to switch out the Dondozo.
Is it time to actually let the Tatsugiri in?
No, I would switch out the Dondozo definitely for the Lilligant to use Solar Blade onto the Sylveon. Because at this point, you'd rather take out the Sylveon and just hope that the Vivillon stays asleep one more turn. Worst case scenario, you do trade the Lilligant for the Vivillon, but then again, it's still a hopeful event that it does stay asleep. So there, we see the Solar Blade indeed happening. Does the Vivillon stay asleep though? Is the question, and it does. So
Yeah.
there, it turns out okay for Poncho. So it didn't win as predicted, and then the Dust Box now comes in. Now this is another problematic thing again because we've seen that it can be very bulky. However, we saw how much damage that Terra Fire Eruption can do. So, yeah, do you guys have any thoughts here?
I think for Lychee side, we can always switch hit run if he brings it in this game too.
Oh, but he just goes for Sleep Powder again.
And he doesn't miss.
3 straight
He's
Sleep
not
Powders.
missing. He's not missing at all.
I'm really speechless on the sleep
And
powder.
the Delon stays asleep.
This
Oh my
Lilligant
God.
is hitting it all. My God.
Oh my God, this is a Legends Arceus game ata eh, no? What is the strength, this power style or the strength style which has more accuracy there if I remember correctly. So Lilligant bringing in some Legends Arceus buff with those sleep powders hitting its mark. Yeah, at this point, you'd probably want to take out the Vivillon so the Torkoal can immediately focus fire onto that single target Dusclops. Because I think if you Terra Fire, you could take out the Dusclops easily with the Eruption, which is single target, full health, and under the sun. Oh, but he doesn't Terra.
Goes for close combat, covering for that heat run
Heat
switch
run.
in.
Yeah. That's a really good call. Instead of going for the solar bait, taking the risk. So here we're gonna see how much does the Eruption deal out of the spots, and it takes it out. Wow. Really well played on the part of Poncho thus far.
Lychee
I'm
down to
pretty
his
sure-
one and only Pokemon. I'm willing to bet this is going to be Heatran now.
Yeah, and at that point, I think this game is really done for on the part
Yeah.
of Lychee. The Torkoal can just easily go for the Earth Power, and the Lilligant will go for the close combat. And should Lychee go for the Heat Wave, definitely he can't take out the Torkoal. If he goes for the Earth Power onto the Torkoal, then the Lilligant will have another turn to use close combat. So yeah, the game is basically checkmate at this point since there are 4 Pokemon on the side of Poncho, so it's just a strength in numbers game for him. He can just keep throwing Pokemon at this heat. So I think at this point, Lychee already resigned himself and is thinking of
Oh, nope.
where did-
Never say never for Lychee.
Wait, what is this? What Terra is
He's going
this?
to Terra the Heatran.
Terra
Terra
Grass! Oh my,
Grass.
he hasn't Terra! He hasn't used his Terra nga pala!
It's just Heatran against the world. 1v4. Close combat going to the Heatran slot. Brings it down to almost half HP.
Is he going for the Heat Wave?
Magma
but
Storm,
Magma Storm-
but it
Oh,
misses.
but misses! Ang malas. Yeah. Cool. Props to him for still fighting it out, but I just really don't see anything else happening, you know. I think he needed that Magma Storm to land. So we have no moment of rest. There's no rest for the wicked, guys. So we're right here into game 3 right away. We see Lychee changing things up. He's leading with
Starting
the
it with Heatran and Vivillon this time, with Poncho leading with Lilligant and Dondozo.
Yet again, yeah. So I think the reason he did this is so that he can take out the Lilligant with a possible Magma Storm right off the bat. And at the same time, he does still threaten. I mean, both sides have the Sleep Powder to threaten the other. So that's something I guess you could say is a mutual problem for the players right now. So as we see here, okay, the Vivillon does go for the protect. I think the Dondozo should also protect itself. Oh, it's a double protect.
A double protect here.
This is actually smart if you think about it, because he's trying to match the protect of that Dondozo paired with the Sleep Powder from the Lilligant. Oh, but it's a close combat. So then again, it's still the same thing, the same outcome, because now that Dondozo does not have a guaranteed protect this turn. So it is susceptible to a possible sleep powder from the Babylon. And at the same time, the Heatran can go for the Magma Storm onto that Lilligant now. Since it has to make a choice whether to sleep powder or, you know, throw out a close combat. Terragrass, I think this is to minimize the close combat damage as well as possible wave crash.
And of course, to avoid the sleep powder as well.
Yes, but the Poncho just goes with the sleep powder on the Babylon.
Never miss it.
Yeah, and it's not missing. I'm really amazed right now. So yeah, the Babylon does stay asleep. Magma Storm does hit. So definitely the Lilligant is done for this turn because for those of you that don't know, Magma Storm does deal out chip damage at the end of the turn after it hits. There we go. The Wave Crash goes onto the Heatran. Definitely not doing much damage because one, the Dondozo does not have the commander buff from Tatsugiri, and the Heatran is a grass type. The Lilligant goes down, and at this point it's a 3v4. And that Lilligant, no, was a key Pokemon in the first 2 games for Poncho as an immediate
Spreading
offense.
statuses left and right.
Yes, and also,
it really,
you know,
really helped
fast
Poncho
damage.
control the board with those sleep
Oo,
powders.
Exactly. So now we see the Tatsugiri come in, giving the commander buff. But then again, at this point, you've got to hope that that Babylon does not wake up immediately. Because the moment you put the Dondozo to sleep, it's just gonna get bullied. And I guess you could say beaten down slowly by the two opposing Pokemon. But oh, it's a Terra Flying Dondozo.
Poncho goes for the Terra here on the Dondozo.
Yeah,
Terra Flying, as you mentioned.
Is Terra Flying na pala?
And it does have Terra Blast as one of its moves.
Yes.
So this is going to be
Those
very
grass type.
painful on the Heatran.
Oh, but he
Oh,
does
but Heatran protects.
Oh my goodness! Lychee playing it perfectly this turn, and he does possibly burn a turn of sleep unless it wakes up, no? Oh, but it wakes up!
It
The
wakes
sleep
up.
powder coming in!
Goes for the sleep powder.
Oh, but it avoids it!
Oh no,
but
it misses.
Game! Oh, my heart! Oh no! Not like this!
So Vivillon does have another chance of getting the sleep powder off. But will it survive? What will the Heatran survive? The Terra Blast. The Terra Flying Terra Blast here.
Yeah, that's a problem, no. I think if you were Lychee, if I were Lychee, rather, I'd switch out the Heat Grab to preserve it.
He does have 2 other Mons in the back, and he does.
Yes, he can throw in the Dusclops at this
The
point.
Dustclops can reliably
Yeah,
take on the Terra Blast.
Yeah, definitely. And you're gonna wanna try and go for another Sleep Powder. So yeah, we do see here. Going for
Poncho
another
going.
Terra Blast. Oh, how much?
What a crit!
Oh, it's a critical hit.
Sleep powder
And the sleep powder misses
Oh
again!
no!
Oh my goodness! At this point, you know, you just be so stressed out. You're making Lychee is making the right plays, but the game is just saying no.
He only has a 3% chance to miss that sleep powder, but he's managing to hit that 3% chance.
Yeah.
On the plus side here, though, Lychee does have the chance to set up Trick Room with Rage Powder. But no, he's going to withdraw the Dusclops here and bring out the Ursaluna.
Interesting. I'm just gonna hope for another sleep powder hit, no?
Terra Blast going into that Ursaluna slot. Takes
Yeah,
about
it's
half
definitely gonna
damage.
tank it. Oh, and sleep powder does finally
Sleep
land.
Powder hits.
Yeah, I think at this point now, since the Dondozo has already moved, you're gonna hit it as hard as you can with the Ursaluna. Definitely using Blood Moon, no? And then possibly a side Fallen Pop, just so that you can stay healthy for where the Dondozo might wake up. So, yeah, we see here again.
Going into the Blood Moon Ursaluna.
Yeah,
Pulling it back full. And there's the Blood Moon, just like you called it.
Yeah, it's
Dealing about
exactly
40-ish percent.
Yeah, more or less, yeah. And I think at this point, if you are Lychee, you just spam the Hyper Voice on the Ursaluna and the Rage Powder.
And the dose
Oh,
wake
but
up.
Oh, wait,
but
Crash going into
no Rage Powder.
Blood Moon slot.
Oh my goodness!
Kills it.
But wait, what does the Vivillon go for?
It should go for Sleep Powder again,
Pollen
right?
Pop, no?
Oh, but no, it goes for Pollen Pop.
He was hoping to take it out, I think, at that point.
Mm-hmm.
But, however, now the Heatran can take it out, hoping that does the Heatran have Flash Cannon? I know it does, right?
No, the only attack and move that the Heatran has are Magma
Oh, right,
Storm,
it is Body
and
Press.
Body Press.
Yes.
That's it.
Oh, right. So,
I think on this
yeah.
kind, I'll go for the Vivillon attacking the Dondozo and protect
But it's
the
it's very crucial
Yeah, it barely
to
dealt
protect the
any
Heatran.
damage with it.
Dondozo goes for the Protect here. Probably
Because,
hoping to match one of the Protects.
Yeah,
There, Heatran
yes.
protects.
definitely. Correct. As you said, he's probably trying to match with the tank.
goes for a Sleep Powder again.
But now, Lychee is forced to... Obviously, he has to protect the Heatran. Heatran is his only source of reliable damage. Now he's just forced to maybe use Rage Powder on the Vivillon, burn that Focus Sash already, so Heatran can take out the Dondozo.
Or switch out the Heatran onto Dust Bomb. And then hope that the Sleep Powder hits. Yeah.
There.
He's gonna throw in the Dust Cloud. I'm pretty sure he's going to sack it. And then go for a Sleep Powder with the Vivillon in the hopes of that Dondozo to sleep.
There's the Terrablast going to the Dust Drop slot, knocking it out. There's the sack that we were talking about.
Yeah, at this point, you just have to sacrifice it. And the Sleep
And
Powder
there's the
does
Sleep Powder.
happen. I called it. It does work out this time for Lychee, and I think that is the turn he needed, no? That is just that very turn he needed. And going by the remaining Pokemon, I think if this Heatran does have the opportunity to just go for the Body Press and the Pollen Pop to take it out.
But will Body Press be enough to kill that Dondozo? At
It
+2 defense.
definitely won't be enough, but in combination with the Pollen Pop, both should be enough. Yeah, so it should be enough at this point, considering that it is minuscule health remaining on the part of that Dondozo. It should be enough right now. Unless Lychee does decide to go for the Iron Defense, which would be a really interesting play. But
There
I
are
think
no more physical attackers on Poncho.
Right, no, but it's to deal more body press damage later. But yeah, as we see here, the 2 chip damage onto the Dondozo was enough. So makes it out. And so that leaves the Tatsugiri and the 4th Pokemon for Poncho. And on the other side of Lychee is, I believe the Vivillon has not been hit yet, no?
Yeah,
So
it's
still at full
the-
health. He hasn't... I'm pretty sure this Pavilion has been there since turn 1. It
Yeah,
hasn't
it
left
has
the
been
field.
ever since turn 1. It doesn't move. You can really say that it is a guardian Pokemon for the Ballonlea Bayonets, no? Rain as it's sticking around, really trying to bring the victory. And here, this is a professional move on the part of Poncho, you know, using even just this timer to throw in the next Pokemon to think of a game plan. So, yeah. And definitely he doesn't have any other choice, but he's just using
It's
the
very
timer.
awkward for Poncho at this point. The only reliable
Exactly.
way to deal damage is through, at least towards the Heatran, is the Tatsugiri.
Yeah,
and
and
the ISO
it's
wins.
really awkward.
Yeah.
It's
That's
really, really
Choice
awkward,
Scarf
right?
Tatsugiri. Which move will it go for?
This is really awkward. Because like the Torkoal is neutered against the Heatran. This is really, really
You can only do so much with Tatsugiri.
Yeah, and
but still,
wow.
Pavilion protects.
Lychee recognizes that.
Oh, a double
the
protect.
first-
He really wants to scout out what move
Yes, he wants to scout out what is
this
this
Tatsugiri will
going to
go for.
look.
It's going for the Dragon Pulse. So Dragon Pulse, Tatsugiri locking in Dragon Pulse for the rest of the game now.
I think if you are Lychee at this point, you'd probably want to just deal out damage onto that Tatsugiri because you know that your Heatran
Agree.
will beat the Starcoil in a one-on-one.
Yes. Kaya for now, Hitron must go body press on the Tatsugiri.
For sure, definitely.
Now it's interesting what Vivillon would also do here.
I think you would just go for the Pollen Pump onto the Tatsugiri. Landing with the body press.
Oh, there's a Dragon Pulse in the Pavilion slot.
Yeah.
Sleep Powder
Because
on the
Sleep Powder.
Tatsugiri slot! Really wants to make that one-on-one with Heatran. Very
But the Heatran's
favorable.
Magma
But
Storm
Magma
misses.
Storm misses on the
Why did
Tatsugiri.
he risk it?
I think Brent really wants that. Brent really wants that chip damage on the Tatsugiri. I guess he's not that confident that body press would deal enough damage. Now it's a 2v1 against 2v1 on Poncho's side against Brent. With a sleeping Tatsugiri and the Torkoal that can't deal meaningful damage against the Heatran.
At this point, you could basically say it's a one-on-one between the Tatsugiri and the Heatran because the Torkoal is just a bystander right now. So yeah, okay. That's the first sleep turn, the guaranteed sleep turn, and I'm sure it's gonna be a fun. Oh, he
There's
still
the
goes for the Magma
Storm
Storm.
hitting, and that's not gonna deal much damage.
And
Dealing
mind
all
you,
about
that's a
75%. But the chip
No,
damage will be very important.
less because it's divided by 4. That's a Water Dragon.
Mhm.
So the Magma Storm is only dealing 1/4 of its actual damage. So really interesting here. Probably no, he's gonna want to body press it now, hoping that it's asleep. Yeah. Oh my goodness.
Tatsugiri
now
taking
sleep.
another turn of sleep.
The sleep
the body
powder is
breath.
biting him
Right.
back. The sleep powder is biting him back. That does nothing. The leftover recovery is even more than that. Earth power damage. Oh
The
my
Torkoal
goodness.
function right now is just to hope that Earth Power.
It's over.
The
Oh,
defense
but it's
drop.
not enough.
It's not
Another
enough.
chip damage is not enough. To the
Oh.
next turn's Magma Storm's not gonna be enough to KO the Tatsugiri. So Brent really needs to go for a body press here to secure the kill on the Tatsugiri.
Yeah, it's 2 turns sleep already, right? So yeah, but you know the thing here is I don't think that Dragon Pulse is gonna KO the Heatran unless it's a
Yeah.
possible critical hit. Then we're in unknown territory. But barring a crit, I don't think that Dragon Pulse would put Lychee in any danger. So safe, correct. You did mention it. I think that is the best way for Lychee with the body press. The guy who didn't miss sleep powders now gets a 3-turn sleep.
3 turns sleep. There's the body
Yeah.
press, knocking out the Tatsugiri.
Yeah, that's a winning
Now
body
it's a
press right
1v1 against Heatran and Torkoal. And it's not looking
This
good
one-
for Poncho.
It's not even a 1v1 anymore. This is just, it's like, okay, I left you for last for a reason that you can't do anything. Yeah.
So now I think this game's pretty much over.
Yeah, so, all I can say is well played for Lychee. He did make some questionable plays along the way, but he still managed to secure the win. And, well, props as well to Poncho for putting up good effort. Now, at this point, Brent is just gonna efficiently deal out as much damage.
He built a body press. He built a body press Iron Defense Heatran. He's gonna use Iron Defense.
Yes, he's gonna use it. Like, you know what? I have the chance
Gusto niya
now.
sulitin yung build. Hayaan natin. But it's this matchup is so interesting since
It's not enough damage.
the most important mons on both sides were really their sleep powder users, I think. It was really crucial for both sides to properly utilize their statuses in order to position properly.
As you said, I think it was a game of two sleep powders. Well, of course, landing being assumed, whose sleep powders would have the bigger hit in this game. And at the end of the day, in favor of Lychee.
What a game of sleep powders.
So
The
yeah.
Poncho, he really fishing for that special defense drops.
Yeah. You know, that's a warrior mentality. Let's keep going until the very end. And I mean, you never know, right?
Maybe Brent can select the run button. So yeah,
Yeah, it's possible. It's possible. But yeah, at this point, it's a battle of attrition in favor of Lychee. So well played to both the trainers for that battle. No, there's not much to really review for it, unless you two have any closing remarks on it.
think
As
for my
someone
end,
who also used that team for week 2, I think it's a very powerful team if you're not ready for it. Especially if your opponent's not ready for it, rather. But as you can see, Poncho really knew what his game plan would be. It's really to beat out that Pavilion from spreading the statuses. But fortunately for Brent, I think he was able to um, kite properly his mons. The timing on his switches was actually pretty perfect. So and he was able to pull out with the win.
Do you have
What about you, Ryan?
anything to say,
I think
Ryan?
for that match, Brent really positioned it well from positioning the hit run and expecting the targets, everything. I think it's like what you said, Rain. It's really a smooth
Mm-hmm.
play from Brent's end. So yeah, I'm really at this point. I'm really just noting how many sleep powders landed, and I think it's about more than 10 sleep powders landed.
We did not
Yeah,
keep count. We should have kept count
yeah.
if I knew that we were just going to be seeing a lot of sleep powders in this game. We should have counted.
Yeah, just because then again it was really the winning factor for both of them, no. But that aside, I guess just to close things out, congratulations to Lychee and to, well, of course, to Poncho for putting up a good fight. Uh, in terms of efficiency, though, I think I'd have to have given it to Poncho. The way he was predicting and making his moves was overall more efficient than the moves that Lychee made. Of course, Lychee did win in the end. There were some questionable plays. However, um, that Vivillon was came out on top at the end in game 3. So well played on it and to Lychee. So for all of you who tuned in and watched this recording, I hope that you continue to support this PPTL and make sure to like and subscribe all of our relevant socials in order to keep up to date with any and all content that we drop. And if you like to see more of this, then make sure to, support it and all other related outputs we have. And for sure, there will be more uh, amazing games to come that are hopefully are not just Sleep Powder, Rain and Ryan rather. So hopefully we get to see more games to come. So thank you again, everyone. I am Tyrant, and with me are Chocopao and Mo.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.